Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Saturday prime time. You're at the right place. Twitch TV, MLE Sports GG. I am ZB. He is Terminator. Terminator. How are we doing, Term?
I am fantastic. It is Saturday night, and there is nothing better than sitting home and watching some good Rocket League.
Absolutely. We had RLCS North America all day, and there's nothing better that I want to, cap the night off with than three great series of minor league esports. We're going to hit you with Foundation League and Champ League a little bit later, but right now it is Premier League, the best of the best that MLE has to offer, the Shadow and the Pandas.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. Both these teams are going to bring out solid lineups. It's going to be a good one. And to start off with the Premier League, that's going to be a great start to the stream tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is. The players are entering the pitch at the moment, and we are at Utopia Coliseum in term. I don't know if you noticed, but it's snowing outside tonight.
Snowing for 2 straight weeks. We are in for a treat.
Nothing else that I would expect in the great month of February. We're lucky enough to have an extra day this year. J.D. Gallup with a great save in goal. Starting off the action right off the bat, you will see the Pandas in the green uniforms and the Shadow in what color is that? I don't even know. It's like a gold of some type.
I would think you are right on that one.
And Dan was right with his shot there. He's got a cone on his head, but don't call him a cone head. He buries that one, got up on that one quick, and Pandas take an early lead.
Wide open goal, and he took advantage of it. He saw an opportunity and converted enough to give the Pandas a 1-0 lead.
Pandas off to a great start in this game. Had a slow start to the season. They opened match one with the Sharks, and they dropped one game in that series. Not Juice playing in that series, scoring 7 goals on 24 shots. So they are looking to have a better result this week. And the Shadow, they are hot, hot, hot. D. Gallup and Morg were able to get 5 games off of the Flames, but I think that the Pandas are ready to give them a little formidable task in week 2.
Absolutely. Both these teams are going to come out. They're going to try to get all 5. Of course, that's the name of the game. That's Rocket League. That's MLE. But both these teams have the quality to do it. Shot saved by Dan to prevent a tying goal. But great matchup we have here. It's going to be even. I could see it being 3-2.
Wow, I certainly could see that. This game has been competitive so far, and the action here has been very good, very fast. That was Unearthly who was able to get the pass and then get the demo. So really good job by him to create that scoring opportunity. The Shadow have tied this game 1-1, back and forth action. Not Juice clearing this ball to the side. It's going to be a tough bounce. He's low on boost, but he maintains possession of the ball as he's able to kind of touch it right at the Shadow defender, but it's going to be Dan who's going to have to play goaltender at midfield to push that one aside. Now it's D. Gallup, and he is actually full of boost. That's dangerous. Good pass to Unearthly Legend, but it was a good save by the Pandas. Fortunate boost pickup there for D. Gallup, so he's going to try to do the exact same thing, but from the left side, a little bit of a change up there. Didn't want to be too predictable. Dan pushing forward, but without boost. Shadow so far have been in control here, both in the boost battle and the battle of possession.
Definitely. Right now, the Shadow are out shooting the Pandas, but it's not by much. Both these teams, they're playing a pretty even game. Even though the possession is a little off, both these teams are very even, and that's why the score is tied at 1.
Yeah, it is tied at 1, despite the Shadow being in possession of the ball. The Pandas have done a good job of staying together on defense and not letting their defenses dwindle. What a great save there by Dan. That one was mostly in the net, but Rocket League aficionados know that ball has to completely cross the goal line in order for it to be official. So great save there by Dan. He has his Savior Medal +1, 4 saves so far. Couldn't get that one, though, as Unearthly Legends had a great shot.
The Pandas' goalkeeping has been great, but when you hit a deflection like that, there is nothing the defense can do. The Pandas had no chance to get that save and the Shadow lead as a result, 2-1.
Yeah, it was a really fortunate touch on Unearthly Legend. Got the 50 win, and then he got the fortunate tough touch off the ceiling. So, uh, fans of the Shadow would probably say that that was calculated. I certainly think so. You gotta give him credit for that. One of the reasons I love watching Premier League matchups is obviously the high nature of the competitive play, but I love seeing clips. And if you do happen to see a clip that you think is clip worthy, obviously clip it, and then make sure and post it on Twitter with the appropriate hashtag or in the MLE server in the Play of the Week channel, exclamation point Play of the Week, POTW rather, to get more information on that. So the Shadow, about 80 seconds left in this one. They're feeling pretty comfortable, but the Pandas, they want to push to tie this one up and at the very least send it to overtime. D Gallup trying to win the 50. It stays in the Panda zone. Unearthly Legend diving in, putting that one center, but his teammate is not there. It's going to create a fast break opportunity for the Pandas. Not Juice. A little nice 360 there. This ball is staying in the Panda zone. This might be awkward. D Gallup just has to touch the side. Dan's going to shoot it right back in, but too close to the Shadow defender. Not Juice turning at midfield. The Pandas able to maintain possession of this ball, but not able to find that great scoring opportunity.
The Pandas have not been getting the offense going. Only 3 shots for the entire game, and time is winding down. They need to get something going quick. They are on the offense here, but the Shadow have been able to constantly clear the ball away.
Yeah, it's one thing to maintain possession of the ball. It's another thing, to be actively putting the defense in tough spots. And so far, it feels like the Shadow have been able to thwart the Pandas' offensive attack so far. Only about 17 seconds here in this one. Pandas are going to maybe have one final chance to tie this one up. This ball's high. It's kind of dangerous. Dan doesn't get a super strong touch. D Gallup has to use all of his boost to get up for that one. Seconds ticking away. As soon as this hits 0 and the ball touches the ground, we will be out of here. And we are. The Shadow take game 1.
Great win by the Shadow. They were able to control the play in this game. Got 6 shots off, doubled the Panda shots in that game. Just well played overall. They forced the Pandas into many defensive positions where they just couldn't get control going. And that's what you need if you want to be successful in game 1.
Certainly. Terminator, I agree with that. The Pandas didn't get many shots on goal, only 3 in that one. And the Shadow were able to save all but 1. So you have to give them credit there. They're going to have to, the Pandas are going to, pick up things a little bit. I felt like things were pretty slow, pretty predictable. A lot of solo plays, putting the ball right on target. But, sometimes that's characteristic of game 1. Sometimes the players just need that first game to kind of get things going. I would not be surprised if the action kind of picks up a little bit here in game 2.
Absolutely. Game 1, it's still a game. It's important. But we've seen so many reverse sweeps in MLE that the Pandas,
Yes.
they should not be scared right now. They have 4 more games to come back. They can get a lot of wins here and really change the narrative of the series.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. We've all seen it where the team drops that first game and they come back and win the next 4. The Pandas and their fans are certainly hoping that that is the case. Have not had the start to the season that they were hoping for, but the season's still young, still only match 2. Teams finishing up the match 11 doubleheader. And now we'll have an opportunity to have 3 games under their belt at the end of this week. So that is certainly exciting for these teams. Dan trying to read this ball off the bounce. A little demo in front of goal. So that was a double demo, actually. So one-on-one here for a second before the players respawned, and they did. D Gallup not picking up the boost, so he's a little low, trying to be creative. A little bit of a fake there, wasn't able to get around the second. So now Unearthly Legend gonna have to backtrack quite a bit, challenges that 50, and it goes flying. Dan with the touch, but he is out of position. Now Unearthly Legend up off the backboard. Can we get a double? Squishy save by Not Juice. Is he gonna turn it into a goal? He is not. Great save in on defense by Not Juice.
The Shadow are very lucky to not be down right now. They had a The Pandas had a wide open goal and an open follow-up, but didn't convert on either. They are lucky that this game is still tied at 0.
Yeah, that was an incredible goal. I thought the Shadow were going to have a really good opportunity to score on that double touch, but not Juice coming out of nowhere for the squishy save. Certainly incredible. You will notice uniform change. Shadows went into the locker room and changed into their primary uniforms, the black. And I will say, it looks very clean. Look at Unearthly Legends card, very sparkly. I really do like that.
You gotta love some glitter. That's what I always say. Loved it since I was in elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
Always a nice vibe.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And anytime at art class that you could get out the glitter and the paints, the glue, and anytime that D Gallop can put that one upper 90, shout out to Turney Ernie putting that where Grandma hides the cookies. Incredible.
That was a piece of art right there. Forget the glitter, forget the paint. That was a shot that you can frame.
Ooh. Oh, what a throwback to just a few moments ago. Term thinking on his feet. I love that. Someone give this man a raise. Someone give Not Juice a Play of the Week nominee, because did he pre-jump that one? Certainly incredible.
He is making his case for a case of Balls Garona. That is definitely a nominee for Balls Garona Play of the Week. What great read Not Juice had there.
Balls with Garana, one of our sponsors here at MLE. Exclamation point BAWLS in the chat for more information on them. They make a great, highly caffeinated soda now in cherry cola, which I will say is delicious. So the Pandas dropped game 1, dropped the first goal of the game, but were able to tie it on a great shot. Really good play there. Kind of awkward. It's going to be a 2-on-1 for the Pandas, but this ball is kind of awkward in the corner. Nacho's touching it out to Dan. Can he put that one on? No, it is wide. Good scoring opportunity, but not able to finish. That ball kind of in the corner was a little bit awkward. So the Pandas getting these scoring opportunities, much like in game 1. Good ceiling touch there by Not Juice, but Unearthly Legend is there to finish it. Banger from Dan. You have to feel like the Pandas, despite the circumstances, are not letting up in the series.
Absolutely not. One thing to remember here, the Shadow actually have a salary advantage in this game. They have a combined 33 salary compared to the Pandas 32. So that is one thing they have to consider, but considering that deficit, the Pandas are playing really well, and they're tied in this game. It's anybody's series still.
I can't even count to 32.
I can help you with that sometime, man. I got you.
Thank you. I certainly would appreciate that. Not Juice pushing that to the side. It's going to be Dan who pushes it forward. D Gallop is there. This ball just kind of going back and forth. Both teams trying to find a way to get it past the defense of either team, but both teams doing a good job of rotating through. It's going to be Dan's turn to put it home. Unearthly Legend probably wishes he had a better shot at that. He probably would have had he had more boost. If I learned anything, boost management, very important in this game. D Gallop didn't have boost there either, but luckily was able to get just a touch on it. Not Juice got a touch, and the Pandas take a lead.
He is popping off right now. He is seeing the opportunities when they come. Quick read to see that's off the wall and to get that ball first. Not Juice. Maybe a floor destroyer, but right now he is a shadow destroyer, and the Pandas lead 2-1.
Wow, great reference. Every player in the lobby wearing the Floor Destroyer title, something that I am certainly envious of. Drop shot, great game mode, and these players would obviously agree. Unearthly Legend, absolute boomer. Speaking of boom, there's a demolition. D Gallop trying to play this one off the wall, and awkward bounce as that ball touches the curvature of the wall. It's going to be Unearthly Legend doing it himself. That ball is up. Will the Shadow be able to clear it? A touch by Not Juice. I don't know if that was the play. Another squishy save. These PL players are doing every trick in the book. So Shadow maintained just a 1-goal deficit from the great save there on their end, but they're going to have to create an opportunity on the offensive side. Less than 20 seconds remaining. Pandas just trying to get out of this game with the lead to tie this series 1-1 as we approach the end of game 2. D Gallop, he's air dribbling. There's no one on defense. Oh yes, there is. There's Dan. The green of the card blended in with the green of the goal. We are seconds away from a Pandas win. It is down Pandas, and the Pandas take game 2.
Great win for the Pandas. They tied this series up at 1. Not Juice, showing why he is such a dangerous player, how he makes such quick reads out there on the pitch. Huge win for the Pandas.
Yeah, it really was. The game itself didn't feel as different compared to game 1 as I was expecting. But I think this might just be the play style of these players. You know, there's some players who their play style are just really get to the ball as fast as you can and challenge, challenge, challenge. And then there's some players who like to kind of, sit back, make sure their rotations are sound and take advantage of the other team's mistakes. And I just think we might have players in this lobby who are more comfortable with that play style. So far we've seen low scoring score tallies. But I think that is certainly commendable. That's a play style that can work at this level, and both teams doing a good job playing both games and each taking a game early in the series.
Absolutely. These teams are playing very tactically. Not a bad thing. Not always the most entertaining thing, but let me tell you, when you have close games, and both these teams are playing well, very tactically sound. It's a close game. That is always exciting.
Yeah, I am certainly entertained myself. We have a tied series after game 2 going into game 3. We do have still the Pandas and the Shadow in Premier League. Want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, Power A. Last week, you remember they gave away a Power A controller, a Spectre Xbox controller. There won't be a giveaway this week, but if you are watching, I hear that there are quadruple points. That was a spectacular goal by D. Gallup. Just kept it on his hood and did the thing himself.
Yeah, we may have quadruple points for that Power A controller today, but that only counts as a single point for D. Gallup. But it's a huge one to give the Shadow the lead 19 seconds in this game.
Yeah, from what I understand, every 5 minutes you'll earn 20 points for a future Power A giveaway. So very cool. Thank you to them. Thank you to Humble Bundle and to Balls Garana for sponsoring MLE this season. Not Juice is going to get a shot that was just off target, as Dan is able to keep this one in. So Shadow, just like in game 2, are able to get the early lead. Big demo there by D. Gallup. Can Unearthly Legend read this off the side? Of course he can. That goal, explosive.
This has been a great answer for the Shadow. They came off a tough loss the last game, really close one, but they are coming out strong. They have 2 goals very quickly. It's up to the Pandas now to respond.
Yeah, I kind of talked about in our intermission about how the play style had been, kind of slow, a little reactionary. But the Shadow right now, I think they realize that if they kind of push the envelope a little bit, they might have an advantage. And they are getting physical bump plays, a little double off the wall there, and D. Gallup cleans it up. And just like that, Thanos snap of the finger, and Shadow have a 3-goal lead.
What a contrast, as you were saying, from the previous 2 games. Shadow coming out very quick, almost got another there. Dan makes a big save, but huge contrast, and it seems to be working for them. Let's see if they keep this up for the rest of the series, or if they'll kind of go back to playing a little more tactically.
Yeah, I don't think the Shadow are going to let up anytime soon. It's going to have to be the Pandas who kind of step up to the plate and stop this onslaught, because right now, the Shadow are feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand what you're saying here. They are vibing right now.
Vibe check is a thing that the kids say. I don't know exactly what it means, but I think we can go with it in this situation. Unearthly Legend just causing a little bit of havoc. Good pass, but it was D. Gallup who was able to clear this one away. Unearthly Legend doing his best freestyle impression there. Good dunk by Not Juice. I don't think he's going to be able to cut it. He tries to flick, just didn't have enough juice. Unearthly Legend Here we are again, same situation we are just a moment ago. He booms it, Dan, touching it into the corner. A demo there. Another situation where the Shadow bringing out the physicality, and it has so far been working in their favor.
I was just going to mention that on the second goal they had this game, it was a great demo by D Gallop to follow it up. They get another here, which kind of comes as a result of that previous demo. They were able to keep the ball on the Panda side. Just great play from the Shadow in game 5. I mean,
Yeah,
game 3 here.
Yeah, gotta give credit to Unearthly Legend there. Good Rocket League tip. You know, a lot of players will try to just touch that ball as soon as they can. Oh, disregard that for a second because we have a kickoff goal. That ball went straight to Dan. He saw an opportunity, touching it off of the front of his breakout. And Dan kind of wishes he is a taller car, but I don't think you can get taller than the Octane. Maybe there's some, maybe like the Merc or something. I'm not exactly sure. One of the car experts in the chat can tell us that. Oh no, the Pandas are kind of onto something right here.
Well, you were saying the Pandas had to change things up. They changed things up finally. They're going for only kickoff goals, and it seems to be working. The comeback might be on right now. We are less than halfway into this game. They have the time. They have the ability. Let's see if they can pull it out.
You know, I've brought this up a lot, and no one's ever been able to tell me that I'm wrong. I think there is sometimes merit to giving up a goal so that you can score a goal on the kickoff and get the momentum back. I think there's something to be said for that. So the Pandas, again, might be onto something, and if so, that's very smart, very smart.
Well, the thing is, it took them 5 goals to finally figure out how to do it right. But now that they have, who knows? Maybe it is the right move.
You know, it's not about being right, you know, early. It's about being right and in the end. And the Pandas still have a couple minutes to be right. And I thought that shot was right. I love what the Pandas are doing. They're getting creative. They're getting physical, and I think that's what they're gonna need to match the physicality and the offense that the Shadow are bringing. And you bring up a good point. Maybe it's too late for the Pandas in game 3, but do not forget, we're playing all 5 games here. So this might be an investment where the Pandas are able to kind of start, you know, playing a little faster, a little more aggressive, and that'll pay dividends. They might be able to take this series even if they don't drop game, or even if they do drop game 3. But look at this. The Pandas cut the deficit to 2, and we have over a minute remaining.
Can you believe what you're seeing? Less than a minute into this game, it was 4-0. The lead got all the way up to 5, but now it's down to 2. There's a lot of time left on the clock. We have a good one here.
We certainly do. I think the Pandas might just be able to do it. The Shadow going to do their best to not let that happen. Unearthly Legend touches that safely into the corner. 1 minute remaining in game 3. This series tied 1-1. Both teams want this one. Great pass. D Gallop saw that all the way and just cleared that away from danger. Not Juice getting a demo. A shot from D Gallop. That one's going to be off the backboard. His teammate isn't going to be there to clean it up. Maybe another demo. Not Juice did it, or sorry, Dan did a good job of avoiding it. That one is up. D Gallop with the save, but here comes Dan. That one is just barely off target. I think Pandas probably needed that if they were going to have a good, you know, chance of winning this one. D Gallop trying to do it himself. A good dunk there by Not Juice. Seconds ticking away. Only less than 20 seconds remaining for the Pandas. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it now. Not Juice out of boost. He's going to pick up pads along the way. He's going to have to score with at least time left on the clock for the Pandas to have a chance. This ball up in the air, it's coming down, but the Pandas aren't behind it. I don't think they're going to be able to do it here, despite the valiant effort. 3-0 run to win the game. It's going to be the Shadow who take game 3, 5-3.
Yeah, 40 years ago today was the Miracle on Ice, the huge hockey game that the United States beat Russia, 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid, New York. And we almost saw the miracle on snow on this pitch today. The Pandas just not able to pull it out in the end. They gave a very good effort though. They gave everything they had, but the Shadow defense ultimately proved to be too strong for them.
The headlines tomorrow might read Unreal at Utopia. Maybe,
That
maybe,
that would
maybe.
be amazing.
Chaos at the Coliseum.
Whoo!
I will be
ZB.
all I will be here all night, literally. Great game from both the Shadow and the Pandas. Pandas, I think it took them a little bit to realize what they had to do to compete in this style of game. But, in the second half, they really got it going, scoring 3 goals. The Shadow weren't able to score late. Unfortunately for the Pandas, it was the Shadow who were scoring early. So I'm interested to see, will we keep up the pace in game 4, or will it kind of slow back down again like we saw game 1 and 2?
Yeah, as you were saying, 17 total shots that game. The pace
Wow.
definitely picked up in game number 3. We'll have to see if that continues, but I'm all for it. I'm all for a high-paced game.
No, I do love that. Despite there not being 4 octanes on the field, the action is certainly high octane. We do love to see the variety in cars. And the shadow right off the bat. We have seen some kickoff goals, which do happen from time to time. D Gallup just doing it himself, carrying it all the way.
The Shadow are starting where they just like how they did last game. Quick start, quick goals, and putting the Pandas in a deficit, and it's up to the Pandas to respond a little quicker than they did in game number 3.
Yeah, I feel like despite dropping the game, the Pandas had to have, at least some amount of really good shot there, really good save, some amount of momentum because they were able to finish the game on a 3-0 run and really brought the intensity. That ball's on target. Not Juice, not going to be able to touch it. So Deke Gallup doing a great job. He was able to perform in the first series, scoring 12 goals on 29 shots, had an MVPR of 6.64, and he is showing what he is capable of here. The notable thing from the Shadow series in match 1, they only allowed 7 goals in 5 games. That is extraordinary. Someone tag Zaida to see if we can get a record on that. But the Pandas find themselves in a little bit of a deficit here. Shadow, like you mentioned, starting this game off where they did in game 3.
Absolutely. Gallup has played fantastic so far. Oh, wow. What a pass there. Let's see this one again. I didn't even think Gallup. He did not get a touch on that. I'm sorry.
Right. So,
But a great shot there by Unearthly Legend. When you put it on frame, that's all that matters.
Yeah, D-Gallup did get an assist there, so it was an unfortunate push there by the Pandas where it did go straight to Unearthly Legend. I think D-Gallup probably could have redirected that one if he wanted, but you have to give the man some love, for sharing the wealth there.
Exactly. He already has 2. He doesn't need a third yet. Lots of time to get it. Almost had it there.
Yeah, I'm glad you said he didn't need one yet, because he was about to do it then, and he might do it now. That one off the backboard. What a cheeky touch by Unearthly. And when I say cheeky, I mean he touched it with the cheek of his finish. Wow.
Recovered off the bump to make that shot. That's very impressive there by Unearthly Legend. Great car control on that goal, and the Pandas find themselves in the same 4-0 deficit they found themselves in last game.
Yeah, you have to feel like the Pandas kind of feel like they are so close but so far away. Did all that work in game 3 to come back and make the game close, and then they're right back where they were earlier, down 4, less than 2 minutes into this game. But we've seen the Pandas do it once before. Can they do it now where, they just chip away at this lead slowly but surely? Pandas down to 1 player for the moment. Dan's going to try to get up and redirect that one. He is unable to. Great antenna there, the little fuzzy panda. You have to respect that. I always love a good antenna, and I love when players, represent the franchise.
Team
Dan.
spirit is so important. Getting that chemistry going. You have to represent out there on the field. You know, the colors aren't enough. Oh, great chance there, just off the post. And the Pandas, they have a counterattack. Juiced up
Yes.
for it. What a flick to keep this game in check.
It was
on that one, ZB.
it was incredible. I saw the shadow put one off the post, and when you do that, it often creates a fast break the other way. I was really proud, really impressed by what Not was able to do there. Touched it up to himself, quick aerial, and then hit it with the hood of his car to get extra power and redirect that one in perfectly. So as I like to say, the Pandas are back on schedule. Plenty of time left. We are just past halftime, and we have seen teams certainly score 3 goals in less time. The Pandas, though, are going to have to get after it if they are going to score on the shadow. And would you look at that? Dan might be listening to the broadcast because he took my advice to heart and scored nearly immediately.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring out these Miracle on Ice references again because this could happen. I am all for it. I'm hoping it happens, as a matter of fact. This would be a very good comeback, but still a lot of work to go before that is possible.
Yeah, I don't have any official poll numbers, but I'm confident enough to say that I think Pandas are one of the most popular franchises in MLE. They certainly have the best emotes. Oh, is that one in? It is. Do you believe in miracles? Maybe. Time will tell, but the Pandas are looking like they might be doing a thing here.
Absolutely. What a great shot just out of the reach of Gallup. He has made a lot of plays this game, but not able to make the save there. And the Pandas are within 1 with over 100 seconds left.
Wow. Term the mathematician himself, a gentleman and a scholar. Going to be Nachos who's able to push this one off to the races against Unearthly Legend. He won the 50 and got the demo. Can he keep this one? Ooh, a little bump. He recovered really well. That one's very powerful. It's off the backboard and awkward for Dan on defense. Unearthly Legend was only able to touch to the side. This man's floating. I think he's lost his dodge. We are approaching the 1 minute mark. Pandas down 1. They started down 4-0, but have slowly but surely been chipping away at this lead. Dan trying to, he missed. It might have been calculated because he's still able to send it to small. He gets it over Giga, and it is in. The Pandas have tied it.
Superb on the snow. That's another one. Dan gets a great touch. A flick into the back of the net. You see the goal explosion. You hear how hyped I am. I hope you are in for a crazy finish. This match has been a roller coaster. Keep your hands inside the train at all times.
Yes, and there certainly is a hype train going for the Pandas right now. 4 unanswered goals. The next goal by either team will give them the lead. D-Gallup not able to flick it. Not Juice is able to keep that ball away from danger for the moment. Dan just kind of has to touch it into his own corner. He picks up the boost. It's going to be a 50 between him and D-Gallup. That ball was centered right in the middle. Not Juice picks it up. He might be able to dribble this one around the defense, puts it far too wide, but he gets the demo 2-on-1. That ball was on target. Unearthly Legend with a great save. 12 seconds remaining. Will we have a goal or will we go to overtime? Only time will tell. This ball is up. There is Dan. That one's down. Backboard. 50. Oh, great save by D-Gallup. I am on the edge of my seat. How will game 4 end?
Only time will tell, and almost another great kickoff chance. We've seen a lot of those this series. So now we'll just have to see how the game plays out. Oh, no, just wide.
Oh, great save. Can Nachos get it? He can. It's a fast break the other way. I don't believe what I just saw. The Pandas might be able to tie it. It's up. It is saved by the shadow. I thought we had a great comeback moment. It's going the other way. Caster's curse. You can put it in the chat. The Pandas with the 4-goal comeback lose it in overtime after having a 2-0 fast break. What looked like an easy goal, but it's the shadow who take game 4.
That ball was just a little too fast and just out of reach for the Pandas. That one has to hurt to know you were so close, just inches off from having that game, and to give up the counter like that. Oh, that is a terrible feeling, and to lose the series on that as well, that's disheartening. The Shadows lock up this series with their third win, but still a game 5 to play, still a lot to play for the Pandas.
Yeah, I'm mostly speechless just trying to take that all in. 10 shots for the Shadow, 11 for the Pandas. Shadow dominating early, just like they did in game 3. Pandas dominating late, just like they did in game 3. But for a second game in a row, the Pandas falling just short. And you alluded to it. They had a great chance at the very end. That ball was just too far out of the face of the goal. I thought I don't remember which Panda player it was, but they did a really good job of just, popping it up a little bit, hoping that their teammate would be able to bury it. But they were unable to. Um, it looks like we are having server issues on the backside. So before we go to game 5, we are going to go to a quick intermission. We will be back momentarily.
Didn't think we were the right type, but we had lots of love. We let it go and thought we were fine, but I guess we still played out. Situations that always occurred.
Thought my Rocket League may have borked there for a second, but we are in game 5. The Pandas, if you remember, had a great comeback, 4 straight goals in game 4 to force overtime. We're not able to finish it. Um, One of the most dramatic games I have witnessed. Calculated shot there by Unearthly Legend. Unfortunate for the Pandas.
And this is the third straight game we see the Shadow come out strong. Quick 1-0 lead, and great shot by Unearthly Legend to give them that.
Yeah, you really do hate to see that, but sometimes that's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you put your car in what you think is the best position defensively, but unfortunately the teammate makes you pay for it. Speaking of making you pay, Dan is going to make you play. Not just doing a 720 in the air, I believe, getting it to Dan 720, who does bury it home. Great logos that the league has for season 10. Those do look nice. The Pandas especially. The white text on the green and the black. Wow, have to shout out Goofy, I believe, for those. Or maybe it was Blackwatch, or maybe I'm just making a lot of stuff up. I probably need to check on that and credit the proper people. Regardless, here we go. It is tied 1-1. This series seems like it has been going back and forth. Pandas looking to take the second game of this series. It is unfortunately the last game of this series, so they won't be able to win the series, but they can at least get out of here with one more win. Unearthly Legend putting that one high off the backboard. Not just getting a touch into the corner. Gallup putting that one up and nearly in. Dan had to use his boost to get up, sending it right back as Unearthly Legend. Pandas are constantly going up in the air to clear that one away. There is another shot by the Shadow. I think the Pandas might finally have an offensive break, but it's Unearthly Legend who is able to thwart that offensive chance just like that. A lot of back and forth action. Pandas doing a lot to keep the ball out of their net.
Absolutely. This game is so huge for the Pandas to win. They came into this game 1-4 on the season. Right now, it's 1-3 this series. If they could get a second game, that would be a huge momentum swing going in weeks 3 through 10. Sorry, games 3 through 10. Yeah. And they need this one. They need this one. It's a huge game for them.
Yeah, it certainly is. Every game matters, as we always say. I thought Unearthly Legend was going to save that one. Luckily for the Shadow, he didn't. 2 minutes gone in this one, nearly in the Shadow. On the offensive attack nearly all the time. 6 shots to 1 in favor of the Shadow. Pandas are going to have to find a way to keep this ball out of their half.
Absolutely. So far, the Shadow have 6 shots to the Pandas 1. Now, the Pandas made it count. They almost made that one count as well, but just off the post. But it's going to be a game of whether the Pandas can get enough offensive opportunity, and we've seen the last couple. As the game has gone on, they have been getting more and more, and that seems to be what's going on right now. They're on the offensive, but they need to really get it going to put some pressure on the Shadow.
Yeah, they really do, and I think that's what they're going to try to do. I think they know that they need to pick up the pace of play. Good passing play there. If you can do more of that, I think that will certainly help your chances. Dan electing to put that one high in the sky as Not Juice puts it off the backboard, but Dan not able to cut into the offensive zone quite fast enough. Smart by Not Juice to not touch that one, but Dan was in an awkward position because he was getting demoed by the Shadow player who abandoned the ball and went for the bump. You love to see the physicality. 120 seconds remaining in this game and this series. Can the Pandas tie it up like they have so many times in this series? Good 50 win. That's dangerous. D Gallup in there to throw it away from danger. Pandas committing to the offense. It might cost them on the fast break. There it is. Too little, too late for the Pandas on defense. D Gallup gets his second goal of the game and gives the Shadow a 2-goal lead.
D Gallup showing why he was an offensive threat so far this season. He went off in week 1. He has gone off so far this series, giving the Shadow a 3-1 lead.
I think going into this series, people expected the Shadow to do well, just based on the performances of both teams. And week 1, Shadow not appearing on the Premier League power rankings this week, but you would think they certainly have a good possibility of being there in week 3 after a 5-0 in week 1, and then what's looking to be a 4-1 in week 2. The Pandas gonna try to do everything they can to prevent that, but they're gonna have to get going and quickly. Not Juice getting a bump. That's probably how they're gonna do it, by being physical and pushing on the offensive side. Dan trying to dribble that one all the way around, but it was an easy clear for D Gallup. Not Juice putting this one off the backboard again, and easy clear for the Shadow. So often we're seeing the Pandas with the ball in the offensive half, but making it easy for the Shadow. Not an easy save there for Not Juice, but he's able to have his car control in check. Dan putting this one, great pass, Not Juice, far down skis, but out skis. Oh no, far down and out. You hate to see that. It was a great passing play. That was a shot the Pandas were going to need if they were going to have a chance.
Absolutely. After that, that is such a disheartening, and speaking of disheartening, D Gallup right there, but that shot before, so disheartening to see it 90% of the way over the line, but great save by D Gallup, and he comes and gets another one for the Shadow. Huge double back-to-back play by him.
Yeah, proverbial nail in the coffin on the combo there, missing the scoring opportunity by hitting the crossbar on one end and then allowing the goal to make the deficit 4 with less than 30 seconds remaining. Not a great combination for the Pandas. If you are a fan of the Pandas, you can't be discouraged by the effort. They did so many good things in this series. Unfortunately, that last shot there was kind of a microcosm of their entire series and start to the season. Congratulations to the Shadow on the 4-1 victory.
Great win for the Shadow. They end week 2 at 9-1. That is a great start to their season and a huge bonus to their playoff push. We're going to have to see over the final 8 series of the season whether that will continue or not, but it's all up to them. The ball is in their court. They control their destiny. It should be a good end.
Yeah, certainly, and we do have to obviously mention that last week, week 1 and 2 were a doubleheader week, so there's an actual extra series being played, the match 11 series. So those results will be official at the end of this week. So there will actually be 3 series played, which throws a wrench in things a little bit, but certainly exciting. The changes that we have in MLE this season. So just to recap, Shadow taking it from the Pandas in a very exciting 4-1, perhaps one of the most competitive 4-1s that you could have. Pandas doing really well, one game 2, and then being playing really competitively in game 3 and 4. So we are going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We have Foundation League action, Knights and Jets coming at you in mere moments. Don't go anywhere.